Press in on the back of the handle, then grab it. There you go. Push in on the back, and then grab it. What's going on, everybody? So I've got another great ride for you today with these two customers that had plenty to talk about, but definitely not on the Tesla front. So I've said it plenty of times on the channel before, but I'm not going to force a conversation about Tesla, full self-driving, or try to pull content out of people inorganically. So if they've got their own things to talk about, I'm going to leave them be, and I'm just going to see how the system performs. When it comes to using full self-driving with customers, I am here, alert, and aware at all times, and it has the same legal connotations as cruise control. So if anybody's worried about customers unknowingly being on FSD, it could be a problem if I wasn't in the driver's seat or if I was being irresponsible. But in this sense, we are safely using full self-driving to get the customers from A to B as a driver's assistance feature, which is what it's classified as. So don't worry about it. Don't let it bother you, and just enjoy watching full self-driving kick butt as it travels from Old Town San Diego into Claremont, taking care of these unsuspecting passengers. Now, my tone there was obviously a little facetious, but I think it's a lot of fun to see how people interact with this system in a very organic way, meaning that they don't even realize that it's doing its thing. It is able to function smooth enough that the customer would just assume I'm driving. Or I guess in some regards, if it gets a little rocky, then they just assume that that's my fault. So I guess there are some scenarios where I might just look like a bad driver when the FSD Beta is being a little jolty or unsure. But coming up through here, so we're going to skip through all the red lights, but I am going to show as much of the trip as I can just to have that confidence that I'm not cutting anything out of the video. But here did a really good job of smoothly slowing down for this SUV that frankly should have waited for us to pass. They really jutted out, but that is the way things are here in Southern California. I mean, I guess most places that are extremely populated or just very dense with traffic. You can just expect people to take the chance where they can, and that's fine. I'm sure I've done that before too. But what was really nice about that is that the system did a good job of compensating well and not throwing any of us forward. There wasn't a single point in this ride where anything that the full self-driving system did stopped the ladies in the backseat from having their conversation about work and life and visiting San Diego. So it's a really good confidence booster that it's able to do what it's doing, and passengers can carry on enjoying themselves with no concern that there's anything wrong or unwarranted fears that the system is not up to par. Alright, and as we make our way through this light after being stuck on it twice, we're going to be entering the highway portion of this trip. Now, when it comes to the highway side of things, I'm going to fast forward through the uneventful stuff and focus on the complex intersections, troublesome areas, kind of like this right here. So this vehicle coming down is supposed to yield to us, but he's not. However, the system does a good job of staying ahead of him. Even though I'm getting frustrated, you can see him right there on my quarter panel in that right mirror. Feel free to rewind and watch that a few times. Fortunately, I didn't have to give any throttle or really intervene in any way. That was lucky. I mean, we're a little bit past the rush hour stuff now that you saw in the last video. This was on the same day, which was another really great trip, but things have calmed down a little bit. We'll go ahead and fast forward through this stint of the highway, get to the fun intersection, and then we will continue with the trip getting into Claremont. Oh, real quick before I fast forward, so I'm showing you the complexity coming up with the 163 heading north. You're going to see these lanes split and diverge in a kind of a crazy way where people are coming on and leaving the highway, and it can become a mess. So I'm always cautious going through there. All right, light speed. Let's go ahead and get on to the 163 exit. So this is where you can already see the lane is shifting really wide. I'm kind of moving my hand like that to illustrate, but it did a really good job of not doing its little bob and weave on the empty lane. Now you can see I'm looking around at all times. The system is really good, but I am always checking every mirror every couple of seconds to make sure everything's clear. But coming down into this actual exit, in the past I've had an issue with it coming in a little too hot because these are sort of blind corners going over a hill, down into a sharp left. Sometimes people are last minute cutting over from the 8 East onto the 163. But in this case, it did a really good job of just moderating its speed and smoothly executing this corner. And again, the customers in the back seat are chatting along, having a good time, while the FSD gets them to their work conference, meeting, something. I don't know. Point is, it's a smooth trip. But we're going to go ahead and zip through this highway portion, and I'll see you guys in Claremont. All right, welcome back. So we're at our exit here to Balboa Arms Drive, I believe. And we are getting very close to the final drop-off for our customers. And I noticed on this exit, and I'm really cautious here. You can see my hand kind of fluttering around the turnstock. I've also got my foot right next to the brake. And it was mostly because we were passing the people off the side of the road there, but it's also because of how sharp this corner is. I am ready because this definitely apexes quickly, and if you're not slowing down enough ahead of time, it can be very uncomfortable. You can even see me mouthing the words more, like slow down more. But we do a really good job. You can see me get excited as we come into this nice and smooth, and we're staying in the proper lane too, which another nod to path planning, making some massive improvements. There's a wide open lane to the left, and in the past, the system would have jumped on it. But because we have this right turn coming up, it actually stayed in the proper lane. That way we wouldn't be caught in a scenario where we have to jump across traffic, which was really, really good. On a quick little note for folks who want to comment that I shouldn't be using the turnstock to disengage. I mean, I hear what people are saying, that there's a priority built into hitting the brake pedal first or grabbing the wheel. But when it comes to these scenarios, I've got pretty much all hands on deck when I need to take over fast enough to keep the comfort of a passenger in mind. If I have to hit the brake to take over, that can induce discomfort by throwing a G-forces forward. And if I grab the wheel, it's also an uncomfortable experience. So keep in mind, with what I'm doing, I've got my reasons for using the stock if I need to, if I can think ahead and preemptively take over, and I don't lose any comfort with the passengers in those moments, because with the stock it doesn't cause any excessive braking or turning. It's just a simpler way to take over quickly, keeping the customer's comfort and safety in mind. And again, I'm on these roads all the time, everywhere. Right here I'm pointing at the semi-truck because I knew the car was going to slow down as we got close to it. It's very cautious around large vehicles, which is good because this guy is definitely not coloring in the lines. I don't really blame him. Very large truck, tighter roads. It is what it is. Well, here we are. We're coming up to our final point. Now, I will take over here because this is getting into a parking lot area, and frankly, the system is just really not good at that yet. But I hope you guys enjoy this. This is another amazing ride. It was a success. We got them to their destination. They could hop out here, walk up to the building, and carry on. So tune in to myself and the girls in the car because I did ask them what they thought of the ride. So what'd you think of the ride?
Great. Nice.
Awesome. They were being entirely self-driven.
What? Oh, wow.
Yeah, I didn't drive until I took over to get into this parking lot.
Wow, cool. Yeah, I've never been...
Out of 10, what would you give it, honestly?
Well, I didn't even notice that,
know,
so
yeah,
10
out of 10.
Ooh, go Tesla. You just hold the button there at the top and push the door.
Oh.
There you go.
All right, thank you so much.
Yeah, you ladies have a great day. Thank you. It is in a good mood today, and so am I, which I really needed after my allergy attack yesterday had me like down. Oh, wow. 2 trips in a row, really, really well done. I mean, the very last part, like getting into here, is something that Tesla can work on, I would imagine, relatively easily. Because mapping of parking lots or complex drop-off points like that, I don't expect to really be a part of the system yet. But still, I mean, fantastic. Oh, I can't wait to get these videos up for you guys so you can see that, you know, it's not always a failure. Like, there is, like, this is the really good 20% that I want to see improve and get higher and higher. And it gets me really excited for what this will be able to do in the future, because 2 trips, the first one being very complex in its navigational route and traffic density, and the second one was pretty impressive too, going from kind of the old town San Diego area all the way up here to Claremont. And man, round of applause for FSD Beta. We're still on 69.25.2. I haven't gotten any crazy new update, but man, that was good. I hope you guys liked it. I mean, you heard the passengers, 10 out of 10. They didn't even know. I worked in a way to ask them at the end, so, oh, that was good. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Take care.